we are good to go.
Awesome. Well, thank you, ladies, for hopping on tonight. And I see that Miss Sarah is on. So thank you, Sarah, for your time tonight to teach us about Hostess Coaching. And I will let you take it away.
All right. Well, welcome, ladies. I hope you've had a great weekend. This topic was kind of exciting to me to present on when we were kind of trying to figure out what would be the most appropriate topic. And I say it was exciting because it's my worst area in my business right now. It's the one that I personally struggle with the most. But it's also the area that I recognize that even a little bit of improvement shows improvement in my sales. It's, I see a very direct correlation that when I focus on the hostess coaching, my sales go up. So with that being said, it's one of those things that's good to be aware of yourself. And hopefully tonight we'll get some tips on how to increase that. So just a little backstory. When I started, I was doing little to no hostess coaching at all. I was kind of like in that mindset that I want to make it as absolute easy as possible for my hostesses. And that's how I'm going to get so many hostesses. And, and that's the way I advertised it. I told hostesses, like, don't worry, all you have to do is put this one post and I do everything else. And it kind of worked, like I could get sales that way, but it wasn't the best that I could do. And it wasn't sustainable long-term. I was having a lot of dud parties. And so it was one of those things where one day it kind of just was like, what if I, asked this hostess to do this, and I would do a specific task. So for example, I had a hostess who had put her Hey Ladies post up and had like one or two comments on it. And I was like, what do I do? Because, it's a lot of energy to run a party for one or two guests, right? So I was like, okay, let me talk to her. And so I sent her, a message. I was like, hey girl, I saw that we're kind of off to a slower start on your post. Could you go through and maybe tag some friends that, you think might be interested? Tag them in the comment there and say like, hey girl, I thought you might like this. And she did that. And then all of a sudden, like 4 or 5 girls respond to that tagged comment and said like, yeah, add me. So now I got excited and I'm like, oh, well, if that worked with her, maybe that'll work with my other hostesses. So I went through and even hostesses that had done really well and were getting a lot of response on their Hey Ladies posts. I said, hey, why don't we tag a couple girls now that haven't responded yet that you think would be interested? So they did that. So notice I'm saying we're tagging them on the Hey Ladies post. We're still not just adding random ladies to our parties because we only want the ladies who want to be there for our parties. So just keep that important distinction as we keep talking. These are hostess coaching tips that will get our ladies there that are still interested. Okay. So some might already be doing that step, but it's worth putting out there because I certainly did not do it at the beginning. So fast forwarding a bit, I'm going to kind of go through with you what I do now with hostess coaching. That my party averages have gone up significantly since it, but I think maybe not in a while, because I truly believe it's this extra hostess coaching. So I'm going to walk you through some examples of kind of how I run things. And it's good to take notes, but also know that we have a learning unit in Goal Diggers that you can go on where I've listed out a lot of the word for word verbiage that I use, along with some tips that kind of help you through it. So first tip is that in order to do this without driving yourself crazy, if you do not already have a day of the week you start parties, that should be your step number 1. So select what that day is going to be. For the example that I'm going to use with you now, I start all my parties on Monday, so that's kind of how my timing gets set up. So as I schedule ladies out, we do those hostess, or I'm stumbling on my words, booking blitzes. So when I talk to them through the booking blitz and I say, would you like to do this week or next? Let's say they say, okay, we'll do this coming week. So I let them know I start my parties on Monday. You'll hear from me a day or two ahead of time so we can get things set up. So I kind of give them that expectation up front of when they can expect to hear from me once we do that. I also, right away when they book the party with me, have them fill out a short little Google form that just basically gets their mailing address, phone number, email address, size, very similar to my sizing form, my sizing questionnaire that I have my customers fill out. And I get that information right up front from them so that when I'm ready, I can jump right into back office and get all that stuff set up without waiting for them to go back and forth on a private message with me. So now moving forward, like I said, I start the parties on Mondays. So Friday before, I'll usually catch them around the afternoon time, like maybe 2 o'clock or so. The logic there being that's Friday afternoon. People are like ready for, they're in weekend mode, like they're blowing off stuff at work. They're getting distracted easily. So if they're going to be distracted anyway, let's let them get distracted with my stuff. So I'll start contacting them, and I'll create a group chat through Messenger with the ladies that are going to be hosting for me that coming Monday. And okay, we'll talk about that. I don't want to jump ahead. Sorry. So I create the group text, and in the group text, I'll just say something like, "Hey, ladies, I hope you're okay with this. I'm starting the group chat so we can communicate a little more easily. Sometimes if I copy and paste the same thing to my hostesses, I'll land in Facebook jail, and we don't want that," or something like that. Very short, simple, to the point. And normally the girls will respond back with just a thumbs up or sounds good, a very simple response, but like every time that's the response they give you. I'll also let them know, like, it's okay if they want to mute the notifications, but please don't leave the chat. That way they're not missing any communications from me. So that's kind of how it starts. Now, in the meantime, I'm checking myself because I don't know about you, but a lot of times I'm hosting or have hostesses that have not necessarily been customers. Maybe I met them through a party or at a show or something like that. So I'm double checking, do they have a cami? And I'm reaching out to them privately about that. Do you already have a cami? If they don't, this is a recent thing for me that I'm starting to explore ways to get them a cami before their party. So if they don't have one yet, if you guys aren't on mute, can you please mute yourself? Thanks. So if they do not have a cami, I'm trying to find a way to get them into one, whether it's simply just trying it on or actually getting them to own one. So I'll suggest to them, like, parties do really awesome if you have one that you can show off and you can give your personal testimony. Sometimes they'll come back and be like, no, I actually don't have the money. That's why I'm hosting, hoping to earn one. Great. And then from there, you can kind of make a decision of maybe you have a half off item lingering around that you could, use to your advantage there, or a sample one that you're willing to sell off, or, at a discounted price or something. This is certainly not required because, like I said, I have only recently started doing that in the last week or two. But the party that I did do that with last week, it was super helpful because the second she posted her pictures when it came, then the sales came in. I had no sales until she posted those. So fast forwarding, then I'll spend some time kind of flexible Friday night or Saturday morning, getting the Facebook group made and the back office all set up so that that's all ready. And then I'll send a message to the ladies once I've done that, and I'll let them know all your parties are open in the back. This isn't that group chat. I'll tell them all your parties are open. So if any of you or if any of your guests want to place an order today before your party is officially open, they are welcome to. They would just go to rubyribbon.com/Sarah Kew, and at the checkout, search for your name as the hostess, and they can start placing orders now if they are super excited. And then a little later, usually Saturday or so, sometimes Sunday morning, I'll send a message that if you have a cami, your biggest job in the next few days is to wear it and share it. I say, quite frankly, I want you to flash your friends. Flash them in the bathroom, at work, at soccer practice, wherever you are, flash them. And I'll say, yep, that's the homework assignment I gave you. I want you to flash people. And then they always laugh and it breaks the ice. And then they start talking. And the talking part is what I found to be extremely beneficial, because once they're chatting back and forth, then one girl will be like, man, I'm not really getting a lot of response. And without me saying a word, another hostess will jump on and be like, well, I can come and comment on yours if you'll go comment on mine. And all of a sudden, bam, I'm still keeping it easy where I'm not doing as much work, but they're helping each other. So feel free to place comments if you have some as we go, and I can pause. Otherwise, I'll keep flowing. Sunday afternoon starts really important messaging. This is the day that I'm going to start sending them the Hey Ladies post. So even though I don't officially want the party to open until Monday, Sunday is when that Hey Ladies post is going out. One note that I should have said earlier is on the party groups, the Facebook groups that we make those parties in, I am not adding anyone, including the hostess, to the party when I set it up. And some people have come back and said, Sarah, how can I do that? I have to add at least one other person to the party. Absolutely, you do. And I have a couple recommendations for that. Add your sponsor, add your nearest leader upline, find somebody on our team that's at a similar place in the business as you, and connect with them, be accountability partners, and agree that you'll be in each other's parties and comment on each other's posts to help keep that boosted. So you're kind of helping a sister out here, and you'll both benefit in the long run from something like that. So that, or the other option is you can always add a spouse or a best friend or something, just to have that filler person that Facebook requires. So now, I'm sorry, back to our very important message. Before we send them the Hey Ladies post, I will send them, yes, Kayla, you're right, add a teammate that you're training to. That's great. So then I'll send them this message. And it's very important to know that when you're sending this, you're not being bossy. I've actually tailored this wording from a different stylist who sent this. And when I first read it, I was like, man, she's awfully bossy. And I like immediately tuned it off. Like I was not going to do this. And then later on, I kind of did a, what the heck are you doing, Sarah? That woman is selling like buku bucks every day. Clearly she knows something I don't know. So how dare I judge what she's doing without at least giving it a try? So I switched my mindset and went ahead and decided I'd give it a try. What's the worst that happens, right? So I tried it for 1 week, and then I said, if it doesn't work, we'll move on. I'm telling you, it works. So even if it sounds a little bossy, trust the process. So here's what I sent. Who's ready to get the party started? This is again in the group chat. Who's ready to get the party started? I'm going to provide you some verbiage and pictures to post on your personal Facebook or Instagram pages. A few requests that I have as we get started. Please put the pictures in the post, not the comment. I've had that happen way too often, ladies. Remind them. Please make your post public. That is for more exposure. Next thing, you can change the verbiage if you want, but please try to keep it very similar. Trust me, this verbiage works. Because without fail, if I have 5 parties starting this week, at least one of them will think that my verbiage is too long or it's too wordy or whatever her reasoning is, but she chops it down to like 1 sentence and then nobody replies. So kind of let her know, like, if you do want to change it up a little so it sounds like you, that's great, but let's try to keep it similar. Next one, when your post gets about 15 to 20 ladies, let me know, and then I'll send you a message with our next steps. And that's when we'll start adding ladies to your group. So we're setting an expectation there. Remember, we have not added. Oh, if you're unmuted, will you please mute yourself? Thanks. So we have nobody else in the group yet besides whoever your accountability person is or your training person. So we let her know up front that that's why we're not in the group. And I think that part of the piece is extremely important, because for me, that would drive me crazy as a hostess. Like, I'm a right here, right now person. So the second I have that first person commenting, I'm like, yeah, let's go. Let's party. Let's get them in there. And I get super, super antsy. I got super antsy on Kayla when I was hosting my party, right as I was signing up. And she was taking this approach where she was waiting to add ladies to the group. And I was like, come on, where's the link? I need it now. So now later on, I understand the process, but as a customer, I did not. So set the expectation. Set the expectation that we're waiting for about 15 to 20 ladies to respond, and then we'll start adding to the group. Now, full disclosure to you as a stylist, we might not actually wait till there's 15 to 20 people. You'll kind of get a feel if this is going to be a party that's a good number for. Some parties, you're going to end up starting it with 7 or 8 people. But the point being, we want her to be thinking, okay, I need to get some interest going, and then we'll go to the next steps. Hope that makes sense. So then I wait a little bit, usually about 15 to 30 minutes. Sometimes it's longer because I watch for those little bubbles on Facebook to come up to tell me who has seen the post. So, I try to get at least the majority of the hostesses. If I have 5 starting that day, I want at least 3 or 4 of them to have read that message before I send the Hey Ladies post. Because human nature, the second the next post comes, they are not paying attention to the first one, right? And that first one's where I just gave them all that instruction. So wait a bit, be patient with yourself. Carrie says, I have some ladies that won't do the posts on their page, so they make a big group chat. Carrie, I'm interested to hear how that's working for you. The group chat would have some concern to me because it's kind of, I don't know, from my perspective as a customer, I would think that that's kind of spammy, and I would immediately leave the group and not even try to look at the product, just because I'd be like, oh my gosh, why am I stuck in this huge group chat? But that could be a Sarah thing. So I'm curious to hear what reactions you're getting. So moving on, then a little bit later, I send them the Hey Ladies post. And I send that with a handful of pictures. And I'll ask them to pick. I'm giving them some empowerment or control in the situation. So I might send them 6 or 7 pictures. One of them, or a couple of them, is usually a collage of some before and afters. And then some are just really good before and afters that show a great significant difference. And I'll ask the ladies, pick 3 to 5 of those pictures and post that with the Hey Ladies verbiage. So we get that up, and then I kind of forget about it for a bit. So if I give that to them on Sunday afternoon, I go about my day, and I don't really respond much, or interact much unless it's a question that needs a response right away. But other than that, I let things hang. And then Sunday evening, when I'm, laying in bed, getting ready to go to bed, I'll start scrolling through Facebook, and I'll look up those hostesses, see what they have going on. Is their Hey Ladies post taken off? It's got lots of interest, or is there not really a lot? And then I'll start messaging privately, and I'll send her. So let's say that we go through and she's got like 30 comments on the page. Now's the time we're going to start dropping the seed with her about becoming a stylist. So I'll send her a message. Oh my gosh, Sally, you have so much interest going on your post already. That's so exciting. Do you think that you could benefit from some extra income? And just planting that seeds. I'm going to tell you, most times on that first initial question, she's going to say no, which is totally okay. And, and then we'll say, great, we're going to keep on partying and get you some great rewards. And I leave it like that for now. Or I'm sorry, no, I do leave one more line. So I tell her we're going to keep on partying, get her some great rewards. And if you change your mind, remember that we can always switch it later, but I'll keep all the commissions prior to you signing up. And we'll leave it something like that, right? If she says yes right away, well then awesome. And you let her know that she's going to earn commissions and hostess rewards and get her signed up right away. Now, if you're scrolling and you find that she's only got like 1 comment going on, right? Now we're going to PM her, and that's when we're going to start asking her to tag some ladies that she thinks would be interested in the post. And that's where some additional one-on-one coaching might need to come through. If she's like, well, I don't know who would be interested, help her through the 4 F's that I refer to them as. your friends, your family, faith, and fun. So, friends and family is kind of obvious. Faith, anybody that they go to church with, or, if they don't attend church, maybe it's some other organization that they get their fellowship from, right? And then fun, additional people, maybe that looks like neighbors, or maybe that looks like coworkers they go out with after work for a drink, or whoever they consider that they have fun with. So the 4 F's. And then as the party gets going, I won't kind of go through word for words anymore, because like I said, that is in the Gold Diggers units. But I make sure that I'm keeping in touch at least 2 times a day. It might be a quick just, hey ladies, everybody having a great day. Don't forget we have the Cami call tonight where your girls have a chance to win a free call, and get them motivated to start on it. Very quick in the party, within the first day or 2, I make sure that they're aware of the booking bonus. And that's a message I could send in the group chat rather than having to individually message all the ladies. So promoting it right away, telling her like, hey, did you know you can add on to your hostess rewards by letting one of your friends enjoy a party just like you are? Super easy for them. And you're going to get a 75% off item when your show qualifies for booking that. And then she's always like, oh, really? 75% off of anything? Yeah, girl, and you get it that way. So then she starts doing that work for you. I think it's important to note here, as we're talking, that this sounds like it's a lot of work. It's really not, especially if you're utilizing that group chat with the hostesses, because again, they're working each other at that point, and they're enjoying this, the slight girl chat with new friends. And I mean, how long does it really take to send a message? So even if you're sending 2 messages a day, that's like 5 minutes of hostess coaching a day. You can fit 5 minutes into your time while you're on the toilet, or, walking to the car even. You could send that message. So, it's worth it. Okay. That's going to be the point that I'm going to have to keep stressing back home, because again, I was not doing it before. I wanted to make it so easy on my hostess, but at the end of the day, it really wasn't benefiting her either. Then she wasn't having the best party she could do, because her friends don't trust me the way they trust her. And it's the same way here that, Kayla is a phenomenal stylist. When she's posting in my group, she's not going to get the same response as me. She's going to get a couple girls that would have been interested no matter what. She's going to get those window shoppers or things like that. But she's not going to get the girls that are sitting in the back of the room and only half paying attention to her. But all of a sudden, if I come out, not because I'm better, but because I'm me and they know me, all of a sudden they're going to buy. And the same would be reverse. If I went to Kayla's party and I tried to post, they don't know me. They're not going to want to buy from me. But the second Kayla walks out, bam. And it's the same thing with our hostesses. The second advantage to hostess coaching is not only will those sales increase on that specific party, but she's going to be a heck of a lot more likely to consider signing up and joining your team, because she's seeing her friends love it. And she's seeing, oh, that was super easy to post a picture of my before and after. Or that was super easy to just send that friend a message and say like, hey, you should fill out her sizing form and let her help you. So the more that we're putting her in that role, the more she's going to see herself there and the possibilities of this becoming a business. Quick looking at the chat here. Carrie says it's been hit or miss on those group chats for the Hey Ladies. Had ladies move over to the party group. So that's good. So you are seeing some success there. Kayla says, great tip, Sarah. I'm lacking on a lot of this and plan to implement. Want to emphasize we can hostess coach on a lunch break or getting a drink of coffee. Use text clips, note replacements to cut and paste quickly. Sherry Prather, you mentioned one time you do not hostess group chat, rather singular. Yes, worth the time to try this for sure. Great point. She's doing the work. She should make the commissions. Yes, for sure. And I don't know for sure what Sherry's doing, but I can say that the little hostess coaching I was doing prior to this, I was doing in individual chats. And for me, it felt bogging, because you're doing the copying and pasting. It takes a few minutes longer. especially on heavy weeks. If I have, 10 to 12 parties going, which hopefully you will all be at that point soon if you're not already. Now I have to be careful of Facebook jail. If I'm copying and pasting that to 10 or 12 different hostesses, I'm going to have to space out the messages, which is really going to lengthen the time that it takes me to Hostess Coach. So that's why I found moving to the group chat has helped me significantly. And I do the bulk of the Hostess Coaching in the group chat, but then I do take some of the messages separately. So I never do the opportunity messages in the group chat. I make them feel special about it. So, for example, I already told you when I send the first one, but usually around day 2 or 3, after I've had a good handful of sizing forms coming in, I'll send a private message to the girl and I'll say, hey, I had to send a message to just you because, girl, your ladies are going crazy. It's so awesome to see how much they love this product. I know we talked about the other day and you said you didn't think you were interested in selling, but I really think that you would love this business. Could you tell me what are some of your reservations about selling Ruby Ribbon? Or something like that, leading her in that she's so special. She knows I have this group hostess chat, but I reached out to just her because I see potential in her. And I'm going to be honest, I do not do that with every single person. My wording might be different if I don't truly think she could do, if her friends aren't as active or something like that. So it's not like I'm not just BSing everything because she would see right through that, but I am making her feel special and unique. Let's see. So that was all before our party was really getting started. Once she's hit the interest level that I'm comfortable with getting the party started, and like I said, that's flexible. I shoot for 15 to 20 ladies before we start talking about adding them to the group. But sometimes it's less. It'll be less if I think that there's just not going to be a lot of interest. Maybe we've had that Hey Ladies post up for 12 hours and there's like 7 comments. Then we'll just go ahead and roll with it and then try to fill in the gaps. If the hostess is extremely antsy, like I mentioned, I would be extremely antsy in that situation. I just know myself. Then I'll let her know, like, okay, let's get a couple more people and we'll go ahead and get going. So, let's see. Jessica says, Sarah, you have great wording that is a little different than what's in the learning tabs. Could you post in our group some of your messages in the group chat? Have you looked at the learning tabs lately, Jessica? Because I think it was just this past week that I put all this wording in there, and it kind of takes you step by step, like, this is the first message, this is the second message, and so forth. And I kind of tell you when in the process I send it and all that kind of stuff. So let me know if you've looked this week, or maybe I'm going off script because I'm not really looking at what's in there. Okay. Let me know if you don't find it though, just kind of happy to share. Because I'm kind of rolling off my head here. So anyways, we've had the interest that we're comfortable with. Now I'm going to send her a message that's like, hey, you're doing so great. I'm excited to see all this interest on your post. And I know that more is going to come throughout the evening as people are scrolling Facebook before bed. And I'll tell her, now's the fun time. We get to put everybody into your party group. So go ahead, back to that post you made earlier. For every person that liked or commented on the post, send them a private message. And I'm going to give you the wording below. And if they commented on the post, reply to their comment. If they liked the post, tag them in a new comment and let them know that you sent them a private message. And then I also give her the tip of that I recommend only sending 8 to 10 at a time, and then pause for a few minutes before sending another 8 to 10, and letting her know that helps avoid Facebook from being cranky. And then in a separate message, so that it's easy for her to copy and paste, I'll send, hey, I'm so excited to share Ruby Ribbon with you. Make sure to click this link to join my party group. It officially opens Monday at 6 p.m. So I'm setting the expectation for them again, because here's what's going to happen. Now my hostess is sending out this link to her group, but I'm not going to accept them. And I'm including my hostess. She's going to request to join, and I'm going to let those requests build up on the group. until I'm ready to open that party officially. So think of it like we're running a store and the store doesn't open until 6 p.m. So there's going to be a line out the door when I get ready to open that store, right? We're creating that excitement. So, day of the party, you're going to kind of notice the hostesses that are standing out and the ones that aren't going to do crap. And I would say at this point, don't give up on the ones that haven't been doing anything yet. We have still more chances to go ahead and get in there with them. So Monday, I'll send a message to the group chat and I'll say, happy Monday, ladies. Today's the day. Who's excited? Hopefully you have had a chance now to start sharing your party group through Messenger with your guests. Now let's think about some ladies that you know would love this product, but haven't liked or commented on your post yet. They might have been busy, haven't been on Facebook, or life is just happening. So let's send them a private message today. I'll give you that wording below and make sure to add your party link at the end. Private message me if you need that again. So this is in the group chat. I've sent that as a separate message again so that they can copy paste. I'll say, hey, I hope you've had an awesome weekend. Did you do anything fun? I'm starting an online Ruby Ribbon party today. This stuff is amazing. It lets you ditch your bra for reals. Works for small and large, even mega breasts. Would you love to check it out with me? Here's my link. Okay. So they're sending that in private message to people who have not commented or liked their post yet. Then as we're getting ready and we're getting closer to 6 p.m. on Monday when parties open, again, that's Sarah's time, so you can pick whatever time you want, but that's what I do. Then I focus on making sure that my posts are ready to go. I personally like to have at least 1 or 2 posts already in the group before 6 p.m. hits. So I have the same, like pinned post, or they call it announcement post, now in the group. And it's, here's my size, here's how to access my sizing link. We offer complimentary sizing. Here's my website for placing your orders. Camis come in sizes, blah, 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 blah. Just very basic information. Has, again, my sizing link and it has my shopping link. And I have that in there with a collage of before and afters, and that gets marked as an announcement. So it's the first thing that comes up when somebody new joins the page. I have that ready. And before I forget, I'm going to note it now that once we do actually open the party and the hostess is in, I encourage the hostess every time she adds a new member to the group or a new member accepts their invite to go to that post I just told you, the welcome post, and tag them in the comments. That has been huge for me because then they know what the heck to do. You'll start posting stuff and not every single post is going to have a link for it. So then they're either commenting and waiting for you, or they go looking for it, they can't find it, they get frustrated and they just don't buy, right? So tagging every single lady like that helps them find the information they need quick. So welcome post is up, maybe 1 or 2 other posts are up, but nobody's been excited to the nobody has been accepted to the party yet. Okay. So then 6 p.m. rolls around and I send the ladies another message in the group chat. Hey ladies, your party's officially open on Facebook. Remember to comment, like, and tag your friends on as many posts as you can. I'll have a lot of great info going up, so you're not going to want to miss it. Please encourage your guests to private message me with questions and sizing. I'm happy to help everybody. Something like that. Now they know it's open. My posts are flowing. I use Post My Party. I know some of you use SentShare. If you are still posting manually, I strongly recommend you check out one of those other auto posting sites like I just mentioned, because it will save you so much time. And then you'll free up time to do this hostess coaching. So that's kind of that. Now the party's open. You don't want to forget about your hostess. So as we get going, Tuesday morning, I'll start sending some messages to ladies who have engaged on those first few posts. I use something similar to, hey, good morning. Thanks for being a member of Kayla's Ditch Your Bra party. Did you hear Ruby Ribbon's giving away some free camis tonight? Um, let me know if you'd like the link. Or if it happens to be, let's say you pick Sunday to start your parties and we're not doing cami calls or whatever, then you might just send, what piqued your interest about joining the group, or something like that, right? But I'm dropping seeds about that cami call as quick as I can in the party. And that, I'm sorry, that's going, I don't know if I said this, to ladies that have commented and liked and posts or whatever. But to my hostesses, I'll send them, today I'm going to have some private conversations with ladies that are expressing interest in the product. You could help by showing off your personal before and after photos if you have a cami. And then I'll ask them, if you don't have a cami, please go over here to my VIP group, and I give them that link in case they're not already in it. And I'll ask them, find a few that you like the best and share it as a new post in your party group, and tell them, why do you like it? Why do you think that this product is so awesome? When the hostess does that post, it gets more likes and comments than any other post that I do, hands down. So it's super important you get her to post that, and that you get her to post it early in the party. That way you get at least that one or two ladies that are willing to take the jump and make the purchase. Because once they get it in, well, first of all, just once they buy it and you post a, thank you, Sally, for ordering. Now, all of a sudden, Jane, that's been sitting in the corner, is like, well, hey, if Sally's doing it, I don't want to miss out. I'm going to order. Fear of missing out is real, people. So then it'll start flowing. Little later in the day, I'll let them know, this is to my hostesses again, now's a great time to make sure that the ladies you invited to the group have actually joined. So I'll tell them, you can view the members that are in the group and send follow-ups to the other ladies. I said, remember that they asked to be in the party, so you're not bothering them. You're just helping make sure that they get what they asked for. So, they might not have seen the private message, things like that. So you can kind of talk the hostess through that process, that just because she sent them the link doesn't mean they actually joined. So follow up. And again, because we're not adding people that don't want to be there, you're just helping them. You're being a useful little duck. Wednesday, I start getting into sizing and bookings, and I'm really pushing to get those bookings in and and sizing. So I'll let them know, the hostesses know, like, you've already had 6 ladies ask for help with sizing. Last time we talked, you weren't ready to become a stylist yet, but I wanted to ask you again because, oh my gosh, your ladies are loving this stuff. Would you like to make this your launch party and start earning commissions today? Or you could say, girl, we're just getting started. I want to touch base with you, see what's holding you back from doing what I do. I think you'd be great at this. Or you could say something like, girl, how's your day going? Haven't seen much interaction in your group yet. Is this still a good time for you to host a party? So that one is going for girls who are the dud parties. You're not seeing them post. They're not responding to your coaching and all that stuff. You are a helpful little duck, Kayla. And then at some point throughout that same day, so that was on Wednesday, in the group chat to the hostess, I'll let them know, like, hey, I wanted to remind you, one of the best perks of being a hostess is that any party booked from yours, you're going to get 75% off as long as your show qualifies. I encourage you to ask around and make a post about it. Again, the post that they make will always get more engagement than your post. So it's nothing personal to you. It's just that they like their hostess. Thursday, I'll try to get some 3-way chat started. So by Thursday, again, starting my parties on Monday, by Thursday, I should have some sizing forms already. And I probably have some people who I have sent private messages to that liked on my posts or whatnot that I'm not getting a response from. So then I'll do a message with my hostess, that customer, and myself, because if the hostess and the customer are friends, then Facebook will bump that to their inbox rather than keeping me in their other box. And that group chat will just look something like that 3-way. Hey, I saw that you're interested in the product in Sally's party. We're so excited to talk to you about that. how comfortable is the bra you're currently wearing, or something like that, to just kind of get the conversation rolling without being salesy or pushy. By Thursday or Friday, I'm also going through and I'm welcoming any new members. So without fail, there's going to be people that trickle in through the week, no matter how long we wait at the start to try to get them all to join at once. So now I'll post a little graphic that'll say like, hey, don't forget to scroll down and see what you've missed. And I'll tag all new ladies in that post. If you do it from your phone, you have to manually tag, so that could take a bit. If you go onto a desktop or a laptop, there's an option right underneath the member bar on like the right hand side, and it'll say make new post or something like that. If you click that, Facebook will automatically tag all new members that joined since the last time you did that clicked message. So you could do that in your VIP groups as well, once a week or something like that. So anyways, I do that. I'm going to pause for a quick second. We're almost done, I promise. But I wanted to pause for a quick second because I realized I forgot to say the other part of the rationale behind not accepting ladies' invites until you officially open the party at once. The reason for that is because it helps your Facebook algorithms. If all these ladies decide to join your group at one time, Facebook thinks, oh crap, this girl's posting stuff people care about. They like, look at all these people that just joined. And then all of a sudden it's going to show higher on those girls' news feeds. So that's kind of like a trick around making Facebook think people like you better. So, we're moving along. So now we're hitting around Saturday. So, 6 or 7 or 5 or 6 days into your show, you're following up with all those customers that haven't placed an order yet. In the group chat to your ladies, to your hostesses, you're saying, ladies, your party's just about over. I hope you had so much fun. I'll be sending each of you your total in the next few hours. If I forget, please message me. I have mom brain. And I'll say, please start thinking about what you'd like for your hostess rewards. Some of you are really close to the next half off item, so please encourage your ladies that haven't ordered yet to get their order in, so you'll get extra rewards. And then Sunday rolls around, and I keep it really light. We're heading toward the end, and let them know that hopefully they've started thinking about what they want with their hostess credits. When they're ready, send them over to me, yada, yada, yada. And that kind of thing. So I'm trying to keep the party to a week. I'm going to be honest with you. It never actually goes there. Usually when I send that message on Saturday, letting them know the party's almost over, get those last minute orders in, pretty much without fail, the hostess will send me a private message and she'll say, oh, my mom really wants to order, but she can't do it until Tuesday. Okay, well, we can keep your party open for a few more days. And I let her think it's her choosing, but really in my head, I intend for it to stay open for 2 weeks anyway, because I want it to go through 2 Fridays. So I'm totally okay with it, but I let her think it's her idea.
I must have started at 6.
So, yeah, so that kind of takes us through the party, but I hope that kind of gives you some ideas of what I'm sending through. My method is not perfect yet. I have adapted that from other ladies that have posted in the stylist page and on Gold Diggers, and that I've taken bits and pieces from a bunch of different people to put it together into something that made sense for me. And it's not perfect by any means. So I'm still constantly working on it. But just from what I've been doing now, I have seen a significant increase in my party average. So it's certainly worth a try. If you have questions, you could put in the comment box or unmute or whatever, and I'm open for that.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sarah. That was great sharing. And yeah, definitely, if you have any questions, put them in the chat box. Maybe comment in the chat who has been doing some of this hostess coaching. What are some of your biggest takeaways? What do you want to implement, after this call? And how can we, help you answer any questions, support you in this? We're all in this together to make our parties be more successful. to note a lot of the information that Sarah shared in the Ruby Gold Diggers learning units. It's in Tiffany's Ruby Ribbon Rockstar. She has a documented file, I believe, and I'm going to confirm with her and then put that in the chat here. And then also, a lot of this was inspired by Katie Roos. She's an executive director with Ruby Ribbon. She's on a different team, and she has a lot of this wording in the I need to think what that's called. HQ. It's called the HQ Virtual Trunk Show Group or something like that. So she has some of her post ideas and stuff like that in there too, if you wanted to look any of that over. So this information is available in a couple different spots. And Katie Roos, so like Sarah mentioned at the beginning, she said, you know, maybe she thought that this Hostess Coaching sounded a little bossy or a little bit much when she started. I just want to share, if you haven't heard of Katie Roos, she's like the top seller and recruiter for the company. She usually sells between like $20,000 and $30,000 a month. She has like the most, in this last, you know, couple of years, she's produced like the most amount of leaders for her team and things like that. So she definitely has a system that works. And I encourage you to try these strategies that Sarah shared with us tonight. And Sarah's been doing really well in the business. She's a senior leader and she just started in February. And, you know, it's always good to be open and try new things and adjust after that. So yeah, let us know what your questions are, what you need help with, and I'm going to go over to the chat.
Hey guys, this is Tiffany. I'm just going to pop in and give a couple things too. So yes, in the Ruby Ribbon Rockstars group, I have in the learning tab under unit 3 is about Facebook parties. I have a Word document in there and it breaks down day by day on how I do my parties, and it includes the Hostess Coaching right in there. I will work on getting a unit up specifically for Hostess Coaching as well. I am just, as I had mentioned on our leader call prior to this call, I'm actually working on changing up a few things on how we are doing parties or how I'm doing parties. And so my Hostess Coaching varies just slightly different, not a ton, but just a few little bit of variations with it, which I'll be sharing on June 2nd call. But like Sarah said too, you know, I was very similar to her in the beginning. I was like, it's super easy. You don't have to do anything. I'll do it all for you. You just need to say yes to hosting, right? And like she said, it kind of worked, but we realized that we weren't giving our hostesses, you know, what they deserved in having an awesome party. So, you know, just learning these new strategies and tips and how to really Hostess coach and not doing it in a way that you're feeling bossy, and, you know, providing them the tools to have a good party. So it's all about, you know, helping them and they're helping us, and it works. So we all, you can really see a trend in this company. Those that are successful are doing the same things. So we kind of, you know, learn off of each other and grab some ideas here and there. And so we hope to, you know, be able to provide that all for you guys as well, so you can be just as successful as well.
Yeah, and just the extra quick note that I don't remember if I mentioned, but it's like Tiffany said, the hostess wins when we do it the best that we can. Because, you know, my hostess that I did amazing coaching with, and she had a $2,300 party. You bet your butt she was super excited that she walked away with all of that product, compared to one of the hostesses I had early on where I felt that I should do it all myself and I didn't need to coach and, you know, and all that. And she had like a $500 party, you know, and she's only walking away with $50 and 1 or 2 half off items. And the other one's got, you know, 8 or 9, she had 9 half offs plus the, $230. And then plus she had all kinds of 75% off items because we got tons of bookings off of it. You know, it makes a difference, and your hostesses are happier. And when your hostess is happy, they tell their friends. And when their friends hear, they want to be happy too. So it's just contagious, and it's better for you and them then.
Yeah, it's definitely worth it in the long run. And another thing that I've been doing as well, I don't know if you had shared about this, I apologize if you already did, but probably even a few days before I even start hostess coaching them, I will, make sure that they get on 1 or 2 cami calls as well, especially for those that don't yet have a cami, can't purchase one, or it's great to get them on a cami call, so they can win one for their party, but it's also great to get them on one beforehand so they can already start to hear about the opportunity and get them excited about it. And then that way, they can also then share the cami call with their guests too, because the cami call is such a great tool to use within your parties as well. Even, in the first couple days, I like to utilize that cami call for my guests as well, because it's going to get them more excited about purchasing as well. So.
Sorry, I was getting myself back so I could unmute myself. Yeah, awesome. Great shares. Definitely true. If we have our hostess excited, she's going to want to get that product. It helps both of us, higher sales, higher, hostess dollars, and the more likely that her friends are to book after they see her having had a successful party. So I encourage everyone to try. You can always try for a couple parties, see how it goes. And know that with Facebook parties, even if we are doing this hostess coaching that Sarah shared tonight, we will just have some parties that don't end up working out. So stay encouraged. We all have parties that are $0 in sales sometimes. And I know we chatted a little bit last week. It's just a matter of, booking a couple more parties than you think you might need for that week or for your month, because we'll have a couple ladies cancel. We might have something come up where our hostess isn't really doing the things that we ask of her. And so I would encourage you to follow this method as something new to try, but also, stay encouraged if it seems like you're doing all those right activities and it's still not working out. That happens to all of us.
Absolutely. I have less of those parties when I do hostess coaching, but they still happen.
Yep, exactly. And if you feel that it's a trend, go onto their profile and take a look at how many friends they have too, because that's definitely going to make a difference, right? If someone's hosting and they have 200 friends compared to someone hosting and they have, 2,000 friends. So, if you really want that growth in your business and having those sales, you want to also, strategically take a look at who's hosting for you. And, maybe you want to gear some of your connecting, to those ladies that that have a network of ladies. And those ladies are the ladies that do another direct selling business. They know that they need to have a network as well, right? So they're constantly growing their friend list. So, if you need those parties, do a little bit of homework and see who your friends are and see who, their friends are, and, start connecting with those ladies and get those ladies to host. Because once you can start to open up into a good network, you're going to start having some really good parties.
Awesome. Does anybody have any questions to put in the chat or to unmute yourself? We have a couple more minutes, and then this is recorded. So if you found this helpful, if you want to go back and take notes, look at those resources that we mentioned where you can find this wording, and then also, maybe tag a teammate or share with her if she wasn't able to make the call tonight and you think that she could benefit from this. I'm just going to check the chat real quick.
One tip I'll share while we're waiting, if anybody else has questions, is if you do get those hostesses, like Tiffany mentioned, that are only, they only have 200 friends or something. So like they might be busting their butt as much as they can. They're trying to send messages, but they're really limited on who they can message. Try to help them think outside the box if that's what they're willing to do. And similar to what we should be doing as stylists to expand our network, ask them like, hey, do you belong to any groups on Facebook that would allow you to post? Are there any local groups to you, local mom to mom groups or something like that they can go on and post in like, hey, this is what we're doing. I've had success with that with a girl who had a really small network. I think she had like 180 friends when I checked it. But this girl was busting her butt. She was constantly like posting. She was sharing my posts. Like she was sending private messages. She was doing 3-way messages with me without me even coaching her to do 3-way messages. She was going above and beyond. And so I said, hey, we have this local group where I'm allowed to post this. Do you think you'd be allowed to? And she was like, oh my gosh, I didn't think about it. Let me try. She did it. And then all of a sudden we had, I think it was an $1,100 party on that one. And it was just a group where she was able to go post the Hey Ladies post into that local network. So we got some of her, not her friends, it was outside her network, but yeah, anyways, hope that's a good tip that can help you.
Yeah, that's a great tip. I actually did that today with some of my parties and told them, post this on your page. If you have any groups that you're in that you can post in, that would be great too. Or if you have a business page that you can post in, it's just giving them the ideas. They don't have to do it, but sometimes if you don't give it to them, they have no idea that, that's something that they could do. So if they do, amazing things can come of that. I, had a boutique owner do a party, and she posted within her, boutique group, so that was a great opportunity.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome, you guys. Well, thank you for hopping on tonight. I think we'll probably end the call here since it is an hour since we started. So if there's anything that you need, I'll get this uploaded onto YouTube and get this shared as soon as I can so we can share it with you guys. Have a good night.